Aw, I thought I was recording that whole time. It was a good one, too. Okay, welcome back. Ha ha ha. To Pathkeeper, episode 9 of 14. Our title today is You Don't Need Permission to Change. One of the most invisible cages in the world is waiting for permission to become who you already know you are. Episodes 1 through 8 were about remembering. This next stretch is about living what you remembered, because insight without action becomes frustration, and truth without embodiment becomes noise. Today, we're talking about something subtle but powerful: the habit of waiting. Waiting for approval, waiting for clarity, waiting for certainty, waiting for someone to say, yeah, sure, you can. Today's episode is called You Don't Need Permission to Change. And a lot of people are not stuck because they don't know what to do. They're stuck because they don't feel authorized to do it. They're waiting for validation, confirmation, some sign from whatever saying, no risk, all reward, go ahead, take the step. A voice outside them to agree or validate. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The life you want is usually on the other side of self-permission. And self-permission is scary because it removes the ability to blame someone else if it doesn't work. So instead, we hesitate. We soften what we know. We delay what we feel called to do. We stay in environments that no longer fit. We keep explaining ourselves to people who've already decided not to understand us. Not because we're weak, because we're human. Because at some point, many of us were taught it's safer to be accepted than it is to be true. So we learn to wait. But waiting has a cost. Every time you override your knowing, you weaken your trust in yourself. Every time you ask 10 people what you already feel in your body, you dilute your clarity. Every time you delay truth to stay comfortable, you reinforce the idea that your life belongs in someone else's approval system. That's the real trap. Then comes a turning point. There comes a moment on this path where you have to decide, am I going to live a life that makes sense to everyone else or a life that feels honest to me? And that choice is rarely clean, because choosing truth might look like disappointing people, outgrowing relationships, changing directions, starting before you feel ready, being misunderstood, sometimes for a long time. That's not failure, that's alignment, reshaping your life. And here's a deeper truth. You do not need permission to rest. You do not need permission to speak honestly. You do not need permission to change your mind. Definitely don't need permission to walk away from anything that hurt you or to begin something new. You don't need permission to honor your body. Try pursuing what feels true. Stop performing. You may want permission, but wanting and needing are not the same thing. And here's the reality check most people won't say clearly. If you wait until everyone understands you, you will never move. If you wait until there's no risk, you will stay exactly where you are. If you wait for fear to disappear, you will confuse comfort for alignment. And I want to remind everyone, fear is false evidence appearing real. Movement comes first, clarity follows. Self-trust is not about thinking about change. It's built by making small, honest decisions and then standing on them with 10 toes down over and over and over again. Now, for today's embodiment practice, ask yourself, Where in my life am I waiting for permission? And then ask, if I already trusted myself, what would I do next? Don't pick the biggest, scariest leap. Pick one honest move. Send that message. Set the boundary. Start a project. Tell the truth. Take the step. Then let your nervous system catch up. Now, for a somatic drill, stand up if you can, feet flat, shoulders relaxed. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And on the exhale, say to yourself, I decide. Ready? I decide. Notice what happens in your body. That is the beginning of authority returning. As we close, remember this. You are not designed to live your life waiting for other people's approval. You were designed to live in alignment with increasing honesty, with increasing courage. You don't need to rush, but you do need to choose. This is Pathkeeper, and the path does not open when you're certain. It opens when you're honest enough to move. If this episode resonated, please leave a comment. Share me with someone who might need it. If you do make a comment, I'd love to hear what part stayed with you. What truth are you beginning to walk? And what have you learned so far? Pathkeeper is a guided journey through remembrance, nervous system, healing, identity, discernment, embodiment, and returning to what's true beneath survival. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to your original design. Thank you for walking the path with me. Walk in truth, hold the line, become the path.